Welcome, everybody. Today we have Eli Raff from New York in the USA. And Eli has been running his own business, and what he does, he is a fractional COO, exit strategy, process improvement professional. He prepares your business for an exit to give you the maximum value you can get. Welcome, Eli. Great to have you on board.
Great to be here, Craig. Thank you so much for having me.
So, this is, I know in your past you've got a lot of food history experience as well, but I'd love to know, person comes to you, what's the first step that they do, that you take with them when you look into their business?
Right. So it's a great question. I did start in the food industry, in the hospitality industry, where I was in the same position that a lot of the 6 and 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs are, the business owners, where they feel stuck, they feel overwhelmed, they feel burnt out. They're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week to just keep everything going. Right? We're all been there.
Absolutely.
We
I
all know
know
the
that
pain.
feeling.
I know that feeling. It's pressure. It's constant pressure where everything depends on you, where if you take more time off, then you're either getting bombarded with phone calls or you feel like things are slowing down or falling apart. But at the same time, you can be there 24/7 babysitting a bunch of adults. So I did start in that position. And through learning and through understanding that there has to be a better way of running a business, there has to be a better way of managing staff. There has to be a better way than having structure in your business. I learned a lot of things, and I'm very grateful to a lot of mentors that I read their books and that I bought their courses and I paid for one-on-one coaching, and they really helped me. And you ask, what's the first step I take when a business comes to me? The first step I take when a business comes to me is really making a deep assessment and audit of what's happening right now. We have to be like, look the truth in the eyes and really understand what is happening. Are you a micromanager? Does your team have the proper training? If so, what kind of training? Do you have any processes in place? Is your team using those processes or not? What is really happening inside of your business? And when we see what is really happening, we can move on to step number 2. But first, is we really have to do a deep analysis of what's happening right now. Let's see what happens. And that understanding where we're standing now gives us a lot of clarity to work for.
But why don't they know that already? How can people run a business if they don't know what they're actually doing?
So what I found is a lot of business owners, when they start their business, they were very good at the craft before. For example, I'm working right now with a pest control company, right? That's from New York, it's doing well, like doing over $2 million a year. But the owner is literally drowning in chaos. And the owner was actually the best pest control technician and salesperson in his previous company. He was amazing at what he did. And, a lot of business owners that I talk to, that I work with, a lot of them start their own business because they ask themselves, why am I making this guy rich?
Mm.
I'm the best salesman. I'm amazing at doing pest control. Like, I'm the best chiropractor in this office. I'm the best physical therapist in this office. Clients want to see me. The owner of the company is charging $150, whatever. I'm just giving
Yep,
$150
yep.
an hour. Why am I getting 50? So they start their own business, right? And then they find themselves doing what they like to do, whether it's plumbing, being a dentist, being a restaurant owner, being a chiropractor, being a lawyer, being an HVAC guy. On top, they have to answer emails, pay invoices, salaries, focus on admin, focus on marketing.
Employ
It's just
people.
overwhelming. Employ people, manage people. They never managed people before.
Mm.
So they started as the best technician, as Michael Gerber from the E-Myth likes to say it. But all of a sudden, they found themselves entrepreneurs. So they're amazing at their job. They're bad at being entrepreneurs, not because there's something wrong with them, just because they were never taught the right skills to really manage a business and how to run a business. There's no entrepreneurial school. And that's where they find themselves working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, burnt out, stressed, with a constant pressure, and constantly trying to chase the next strategy that they think that will save them. But between me and you, we know it never does.
Everybody watching this knows that. They have to know that. They have, hearing it from you, but inside they know that that is the truth, and they know it within
What is
them.
that? What do you mean by that?
That they were great at what they did, but now they've taken on the entrepreneur role, and it's different. And there's so much more involved that they never expected, that they need the help, that they need the guidance. And the reason that you're here today is to bring that clarity, that business systemization. And you're the future, because without that systemization, how are they going to implement AI? And if they don't implement AI, their business is going to be out of business within the next 3 years anyway, because the businesses that are implementing AI are going to take greater market share and put you out of business. And the first step is you, by understanding those processes that you were talking about, documenting those and getting those right. And yes, I will get off my soapbox now because I'm so passionate about what you do and how important it is.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I I want to say, like, again, I don't know if it's the fact in Australia, but in the United States of America, like 80% of small businesses close within the first 5 years.
True.
96% of startups close within the first 10 years. And so only 4% make it after 10 years. You know, I mean, you can't argue with data. It's a fact, right? And I was thinking to myself, what makes the 4% that succeeds different? What do they do different? I love reading biographies. I love watching documentaries. I love trying to understand the mindset of really successful people, not just in business, but in sports, whatever. Politicians, if they achieve success, they know something. They thought a different way because they have a different mindset. And I realized all of those people, they make a shift. For example, I'm gonna give it. Who here doesn't know Marilyn Monroe?
Well,
Everybody knows
everybody.
Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yep.
Do you know her real name? She's not Marilyn Monroe. Her name is Norma. She shifted her character to become something else. And I'm just giving it as an example to draw the point of, if you don't implement AI, if you think AI whatever is gonna whatever, if you don't do the right things inside of your business, you're not gonna be part of those 4% that succeed. You're gonna be part of those 96% that fail. So the same way Norma had to shift to Marilyn Monroe in order to find her success, a business operator has to shift to becoming a business owner if he wants to succeed, if he wants to profit, if he wants to have the freedom while building his business and not working 80 hours a week with stress that's causing them, even health declines and what, etc. I'm not gonna. But the systemization, the process, that's the foundation of AI. Because if your process is chaos and you automate it, the chaos will come 10 times faster.
It'll be chaos on
AI,
steroids.
yeah, AI is 10 times faster, right? But it doesn't make it 10 times better. First, we have to make sure that whatever is happening right now inside of this business is happens in an efficient, effective way based on the standards of the owner or the CEO. Then we can bring AI, then we can automate. And that's how you win. That's how you get market share. And I'm seeing it with small businesses in America all the time, whether it's chiropractor offices, whether it's physical therapy offices, dentists, private practices, pest control, HVAC, restaurants, manufacturing, med spas. The foundation is there. You have to be dialed in on your process, on your systems. So make sure the operation flows smoothly, and then you can scale without the chaos, without the headaches. And it works amazingly and really, really well. And I'm sure you've seen it on your end as well.
I have, but it really does lead me on to my next question, Ellie, that last statement of yours. And that is, tell me about aligning goals, priorities, and accountability. Because to me, that fits perfectly with what you've just said.
Right. So it's a great question. I remember maybe like 5 years ago, I constantly blamed my staff for not doing what I wanted them to do. I was constantly blaming them. Oh, if I find better staff, maybe I wouldn't have to be here all the time. Oh, the stuff just doesn't get it. They're just not good. I need to pay more. I need to bring, better people, more experienced people, or this Gen Z, they don't like to work and we can't find good people these days. And I really believed it. That's the crazy part. I truly believe that. I believe that if I find better staff, I'll have better life. I'll have better
Back then you
business.
were called Norma Jean, weren't you?
Right. It's never the case. It never works out. Because even if you bring the most capable person into your company and he doesn't have the tools to succeed, he doesn't know what success looks like. Meaning you didn't train him properly and you're not holding him accountable. You asked about accountability. You're not holding him accountable. You're not giving him a direction. He's never going to be an A-star player. And let's say you do bring an A-star player to your business, he's not going to stay because you're not an AA team leader. So in order to have good staff, you have to instill ownership, accountability, and give them the right tools 100%. That's part of what we do. We like to, we keep track on a few metrics of each position. Based on those metrics, call it KPIs, call it numbers, call it chart, whatever it is, give it any name you want. But based on those numbers, we're able to see, does this person succeeded this week? For example, in one of my companies that I'm a part of, we have an appointment setter, meaning his job is to prospect on LinkedIn and to book appointments for our sales guys. So we gave him a quota. He has to bring 12 appointments every week, and we keep a track of it. And if there's a week where it's 11, we come in right away on Monday morning and we ask him, hey, is everything okay? Do you need anything else from us in order to make sure that you book 12 appointments this week? Because we saw last week you had 11 appointments. And most business owners, they don't know the data. They don't know the numbers. They're not keeping their employees accountable. Again, not because they're stupid, but because they're not a business guy for the most part, right? They're not thinking like a businessman. And quite frankly, a lot of them, are sitting in the truck, doing the work, or they're doing the physical therapy themselves, or they're busy cooking the burgers and whatever it is, they're doing the work. They're not building the business. And there's a difference. When you build a business, you have to have the right tools. You have to keep your team accountable and you have to have the right ownership. Build them to make decisions within their role
And
based
it
on your
makes the
standards,
team
obviously.
happier as well. I was chatting with my son, he's 26 and working in IT.
Uh-huh.
And I was chatting with him last night and I said, so how's your work going? He said, I'm delivering stuff. He said, but I don't know whether I'm delivering the right stuff or not. He said, I'm not
Mm,
getting the feedback. He said, I'm not getting
mm,
the idea as to how much I should
mm,
be doing, what I should be focused on from my management team. So I said, okay, so what are you doing? He said, well, I'm looking for a new job
mm.
because
Yeah,
he's not getting those KPIs, that
right,
accountability, those priorities from his
right.
management team.
Of
He's
course,
not satisfied
of
because he is an
course.
A player and he feels like he's playing in a C game at this stage. So he's now looking further afield.
Right, you said something powerful. You said he's not getting feedback from his management. And
Yes.
that's exactly the case. He needs to get feedback from the leadership. We shouldn't be managing people, we should be leading people. And in this generation where I'm a big believer, if you have to become a leader, if you want to find success in the business, I'm a big believer that this generation, the younger generation, wants more than money. I see it all the time. They want the recognition. They want the positive feedback. They want you to coach them. They're very coachable. They want to, like you said, your son is 26 years old. He wants to do better. He wants to, transcend himself to the best version he can be. I'm 100% sure. Because if he was just a lazy guy, he wouldn't care. He
No,
would just get a salary and continue.
that's right.
So your son is probably looking to be in a place where he has a leader that will keep him accountable, will give him the ownership, and will make him better overall. And a lot of
You're
people do.
spot on. You really are. And it's that leadership. You said it earlier that the person was the best person around for pest control. And as soon as you said that, I thought, well, no, I'm hoping they're the second best because
Mm,
they need to go and employ the best. You
mm,
don't want to be the best at, you don't want to be better than your employees. You want to have the best employees that are
mm.
much better than you at everything, and
Wow.
you take on that leadership role. That's
Wow.
when you're really going to step forward.
Wow. It's an interesting concept, and I agree. You have to assemble the best team possible because it's business is not do it yourself game. It never was and it will never be. We thrive on connection.
And you can't let your own ego get in the way either. There are
No,
people out there better than you.
of
Go and
course.
find them.
Right. I agree. I 100% agree. I think that's how God, call universe, call whatever you want, the higher power designed the world, where by connecting, we're able to take the ideas of person A, person B, person C, and all of a sudden, it's not just three ideas, it's one humongous, great idea. When all of us focus and specialize in what we're good at, together we can truly build something beautiful and amazing.
Well, Ellie, you're not here by accident. You're here
Ah,
because I have searched the world for great people.
hmm,
And you're in New York, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. We're a long,
yeah,
long way away from each other.
yeah,
But I am trying to find the best people for my people to work with,
huh,
for my people to learn from. And I've concluded this week, Ellie, that I'm not doing a good enough job. That though I have done 61 podcasts in the last
hmm,
7 months, which
wow.
is
That's consistency. You're the top
that's
1% of the podcasters.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm still not giving enough. I'm not doing enough for the people that
Mm,
I associate with. So this week I have decided, and I spent all day yesterday working on setting up a mastermind group where I'm going to take the top 25 people and put into this mastermind group to learn from the top people in the
mm,
world that I've been able to find and then bring them on each and every week to come and give input, feedback, experience to
mm.
these people because
Wow.
I think that I need to do better at delivering great value to everyone. So I'm
I think
holding
just
myself accountable as well.
I just think just your energy of service and giving will get you to the right place. God willing, at the right time. You know, one of the great people that I actually flew to Puerto Rico to see him recently, he said something beautiful. He said, when you want to go from point A to point B, until the moment you're at point B, I'll make it even easier. I'm in New York, you're in Australia, right? Let's say you want to come to New York. You have to leave your house, take a taxi, go to the airport, pass security, get into the airplane, and fly to the United States, right? To New York. Until the moment you're not landing in New York, technically you're not in New York, but you're already on the way to your destination.
Mm.
So what I'm saying is, you want to give more value, you want to be more of service. You're on the path, and you'll get there.
Well, I
You're on the
will,
path.
but it's going to be with, I will be the leader. I will,
Mm,
it'll be finding great people like yourself to bring on board that are better than me at doing stuff because I can't be the best at all of these different things. So all I can do is provide guidance to the people around me. And that's what you're talking about here. I know you're short of time, so I've got to let you go. But I
thank you. I
wanted to
appreciate it.
do a little bit of a recap before you get a chance to, if that's
Of
okay.
course, of course. Yeah.
Leadership, priorities, accountability, systems and processes, all of that needs to be in place. AI is something that is, it's not coming, it's here.
It's
You
here.
need to get on board with it right now before it leaves, before other businesses take over. These are the gems that I've got from you today. So I'll pass it over to you. What would you like to say?
No, I really appreciate and I hope that my message will be of service and will help at least one person because I truly love helping and teaching. And you summarized this beautifully. And I think a very good way to remember this is that Marilyn Monroe wasn't Marilyn Monroe. That's not her real name. She had to shift to become Marilyn, and we're capable of making that shift. Because I've been in the place where the operations and the business depended on me, and I know I feel the pressure. I feel it, and that's why I'm on this mission to help business owners feel free again, where they're profiting more. I believe a business owner could work less where he makes more money. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it helping other people, and I know it's possible. Now, I know some people will be listening to this and be like, "Yeah, that doesn't make sense. He's full of bullshit," you know? I don't know if I can say that word, but he's full of BS. But I want to tell you, it's really possible. You could learn the right tools and you can learn the right mindset to really make more money and work less. And if you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, if you feel like you can't trust your team or if you feel like your team is not good enough, we've been there and we have a proven framework to take you out of there. So if anyone needs help with implementing what I just spoke about, with whether it's the process, whether it's the team, and aligning them the right way, or it's even you getting your mindset right in order to scale, to grow, to step back, to prepare for an exit for a top dollar, I would love to support you.
Thank you, Eli. It's not just about the mindset here. What
Mm,
you'll get from Ellie is action steps that are
of
going to
course.
just little tweaks that are going to make huge difference. If you can get a 3% increase in profit margin, that's going to make a huge difference by making a simple change. Thank you, Ellie. I'll
We're
let you
we're
go.
closer to
Really appreciate
15%,
your
15
time.
to 20%. But yeah.
Say that one again.
I was saying I'm saying we were able to increase profit margins by 15 to 20%.
Now you're just showing off.
No, I'm not sure. I'm saying it's possible. People need to know that. People need to know that it's possible. But I appreciate being here and I wish you all of the best. And I would love to add value to anyone who needs help.
Well, don't you worry. You're getting an invite to the mastermind. So we'll come back on that
I'm
one,
excited.
okay?
I'm excited. Thank you, Craig. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.